بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome back to the Ramadan series, Ramadan Hadith of the Day, that is sponsored by WBIMA Muslim Talk Radio, the Muslim voice around the world. And I am your host for this series, Al-Ustaz Yusuf Jabber, the Executive Director of the Arabic Language Institute in Newark, New Jersey. And today we are on Hadith number 8, as it reads, عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تسحروا فإن في السحور بركة. The translation is that on the authority of Anas ibn Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, Yani the messenger of Allah, may Allah be pleased with him, Yani may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, Yani he said, Yani take the morning meal, because in the morning meal, Yani is a blessing. Right? So let's take the al-asma, Yani the nouns of this particular Yani hadith. Right, the first noun is yani as-sahur. As-sahur. And actually, this noun, it can be read as-sahur, or it can be read as-suhur. As-suhur. Yani the only difference is that the sin has a fatha, yani, or a dhamma, right? And what is the difference between as-sahur and as-suhur, right? The difference is that the first one, as-sahur, yani, is the actual meal that you eat, right? The actual meal that you eat, yani, before fajr, right? But as-suhur, right? It is the verbal noun, yani, the masdar. And it means the act, right? The act of eating, yani the meal, yani before, yani fajr. And our next, yani noun is barakatun. Barakatun. Right? Which means a blessing, right? Or a reward. Right, and the plural for baraka is barakat. Yani barakat. Right, and we're moving on to our verbs. Right, the first verb that we have in this particular hadith, or the only verb, is tasahara. Tasahara, it is a form 5. Yani, form 5 verb, meaning that if you look in the dictionary, handswear, right, you will look up the root word, sin, ha, and ra, right, and then you will go to the fifth form of this verb, right, to tasahara, right, and tasahara, it means the act of yani, getting up and taking the pre-dawn meal, right, especially in the month of Ramadan. In the mudari, the present tense is yatasahharu. Yatasahharu. Right, and the fi'l amr, the command is tasahhur or tasahhar. Tasahhar, right? Tasahhar, right? And you notice that yani, in the hadith it says tasahharu, right? It's referring to antum, yani you all, a group of people, and all we did was add a waw to the end, right? To make it antum, a group of people. Yani, and the masdar, the verbal noun, yani for this is at-tasahhur. التساحر or السحور أو يعني السحور. right? And actually, there are no new huruf. There are no new articles or particles in this particular hadith. Right, so we're going to move immediately to the grammatical analysis of the hadith. We have an, it's harfu atf, it is a conjunction, right? And the noun that comes after it is ism majrur. The object of the, harfu atf is the, afwan harfu jar. It is a preposition, right? And the noun immediately after the preposition is ism majrur. The object of the preposition, it is majrur, it is genitive, and the basic sign of a genitive noun is kasra, right? And ibni, it is what we call badal. It is a substitution of Anas, right? Ibni Malik. Who was Ibni Malik? Anas. And who was Anas? It is Ibni Malik, right? So it also follows in the same genitive case, kasra, right? It serves as mudaf, right? And Malikan is the mudafun ilayhi, the second word of a compound. And it is also majrur, and the basic sign for a genitive noun is kasra. Right? Qala fi'l madi, past tense verb, right? And it is implied huwa, right? He, referring back to Anas ibn Malik. Qala again fi'l madi, the past tense. Rasul, it is the fa'il, right? Who was saying? Rasul, he is the one that's saying. And the fa'il is the doer of the action. It is marfu, it is nominative, and the basic sign of a nominative noun is damma. Right? It is also mudaf, the first word of a compound. And lafzul jalala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is mudafun ilayhi, right? It is majrur, genitive, and the basic sign of a genitive noun, is kasra. Tasaharu. Tasaharu is fil amr. It is a command, right? It is a command, right? And the wow, right? The wow is what we call wow jama'ah. Wow jama'ah, and it serves as the fa'il. It is the doer of the action, right? Who has to perform this act? And this wow represents antum, right? You all, right? And you notice too that in tasaharu, right? There is an extra alif, and this alif, is actually not pronounced. It is actually not pronounced. And you will see this a lot in the Quran with a little oval shape above it, meaning that even though it is written, it is not pronounced. This is what we call alif al-tafriq. It is a separating alif to make sure that the verb does not mix in with any other word that comes after it. Fa, conjunction. Right? Inna is from the is the big sister of inna wa akhawatuha. Right? Fi harful jar, conjunction, and the harful jar, the preposition, right? And the object of the preposition is as-sahur, right? Or it can be as-suhur, right? Just based on what you mean. Right? Do you mean the actual meal, or do you mean the process of taking the pre-dawn meal? Right? So as-sahur, it is it's a majrur. The object of the preposition, right? It is majrur, taking genitive, taking a kasra. Right? And barakatun, barakatun, it is actually khabaru inna. It is khabaru inna. Right? And khabaru inna, we know that it is khabaru inna because khabaru inna always is marfu', right? It is always nominative. And the basic sign for the nominative, noun, is dhamma. Now the question is, where is ismu inna? Right? Ismu inna has to be mansub. And the basic sign for the mansub is fatha. But we do not see a noun that takes fatha. However, there's something that is implied in this particular hadith. So we're actually saying فَإِنَّ موجودا يعني في السحور يعني بركة. Right? So the implied يعني اسمه يعني in the subject of inna is يعني موجودان. يعني that there is found, right? That there is found يعني in the يعني the pre-dawn meal يعني blessing, right? Blessing. Now going to the meaning of this particular hadith. Number one is يعني الحث على يعني sahur, right? واتباع السنة. That it is an encouragement for us to take this sahur, the pre-dawn yani meal, right? Following yani the traditions of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? In this barakah, right, it states many yani interpretations of what this barakah means. One of them is that yani yuqawwi ala sawm wa yunashitu lahu wa yukhaffifu al-mashaqqa fihi. That it strengthens the one yani, that is fasting and also allows him or gives him activity or energy that he needs or that she needs, and it lightens up yani, the difficult or the burden of fasting. And also يعني يتضمن من يعني استيقاظ والدعاء يعني في وقت السحور, يعني meaning that yani this barakah, yani by us waking up early in the morning, right? We're actually waking up yani in a good time, right? Yani al-waqt al-sharif, yani wa yani tanzil yani rahma, yani wa qabul yani ad-du'a wa yani wal istighfar, right? That this is the third part of the night, right? And the third part or the latter part of the night is a night of blessed yani period. Right, it is a blessed period because yani, this is where dua is answered, right? And at the same time, yani, that mercy yani, is being sent down yani, to anyone that is up yani, in worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yani, during this particular yani, period. Right, so this is yani, the barakah that we get the energy and the strength that we need yani, to fulfill our fast. And not only that, we're waking up in the latter part, on the last third of the night, where yani, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has blessed this night and yani, allowed it, or this third part of the night, and allowed us to yani, make dua yani, where it will be answered, and make yani, forgiveness yani, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will yani, forgive us. As well as yani, sending down yani, His mercy during this part yani, of the night. Again, thank you yani, for tuning in to WBIMA Muslim Talk Radio. I am your host, Ustaz Yusuf Jabra, from the Arabic Language Institute in Newark, New Jersey. Please yani, stay tuned in to the Ramadan Hadith of the day. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.